So a few days ago, I was booking an apartment because me and a couple of my friends are going to another city to go to like this holiday, Christmas, New Year's festival thing, right? And I've never booked an apartment before. So you go into the site, it's booking.com, and on the site you have a bunch of like flat or apartments that you can book, and you have a bunch of settings and options and everything, and at the end of the list or whatever of each apartment you have a phone number that you can dial and call up the owner and then discuss everything with him. So I decided to just call up instead of looking through all of these things and whatever. I decided to just call the number, speak to the person renting out the apartment, and then literally just find all of the things which I need, all the information through that. So I do that. I end up speaking to the owner. I end up arranging the apartment, taking all the information, and even get like a bit of a discount through. I don't even know how, just through I guess being kind of funny, I guess, kind of charismatic. I don't know, but the guy was just cut me like $5 off the original price for some reason. And as I'm finishing the call, I realized just how kind of overpowered it is. The fact that I was able to just, with no anxiety, with no thoughts in the back of my head, like what am I gonna say, how am I gonna act, is this gonna be awkward, literally just call up the owner and just be like, hello, can I book an apartment, whatever, and have a nice conversation, have the conversation be nice, like solid enough to where I even got a bit of a discount. And I realized that if I had social anxiety like I used to have, and if I didn't end up calling him up, I would have probably just ended up kind of booking the apartment normally. I would have ended up paying more. And overall, it maybe even would have been a bit more of a complicated situation. But like this, I just called him up. In like 2 minutes, he explained everything. We had a conversation, he even gave me a discount, and now I knew exactly everything. He told me to call him up when we get to the apartments, to not get lost and everything. And it was like a great experience. And that's when I realized learning to get rid of your social anxiety and improving your social skills and getting so used to speaking to people and becoming so kind of extroverted to the point where these things, these interactions with strangers get you or cause you zero anxiety is so powerful, because it's not just that it's going to be useful when you're hanging out with people or when you need to meet other people, maybe you need to speak to girls. It's useful in any area of life. Another good example is a few days ago I was traveling, I went to this big city again, and I was trying to get from point A to point B with like a bus, right? And I've never ridden on buses inside of cities. I always thought they were like really complicated with like the different numbers and different places and everything. And so I literally, instead of spending like 15 minutes Googling everything and trying to find which bus and whatever, I literally just went to the bus station, asked like 5 different people about the buses, whatever, gathered up all the information within like 2 minutes and knew exactly which bus to go on, where to, get on the bus, where to get off, and how to get to my location. Again, speaking to people was just something that was way simple, way quicker and easier that if I had pulled up, yeah, sure, I could have pulled up ChatGPT and asked it and scrolled through and spent like 5, 10, 15 minutes on it, but I just went up, asked some woman like, excuse me, which bus to this place, whatever. They explained it, and boom, in like 2 minutes, I've got all the information I need, hopped on the bus, and it was super simple after that. So what I want you to realize is this is just one of the many benefits that you get once you get to this point where you have no social anxiety, where you can speak to anyone, anytime, anywhere. And I just want you to really kind of realize how valuable improving at this skill is. And that's why I would recommend you to check out other videos on my channel, of course. Check out the course in the description, which is definitely the best way for you to improve them. But also to give you a tip for this video, just so it's not like a video where I'm kind of blabbering on for like 5 minutes. To give you some useful tips, just remember that what is the best way to improve at something? Sure, you could study it. Sure, you could ask other people, gather knowledge on it. But the best way to really improve at anything is to just do it over and over again. If you want to learn to skate, you're not going to learn by watching a bunch of tutorials. Sure, they're going to help, but the way that you're going to learn it is by jumping on that skateboard 100 times, falling on your ass 100 times, until eventually you get it. It's the Same thing with speaking to people and removing your social anxiety and getting used to becoming more kind of extroverted and charismatic. You can watch these kinds of videos and it will help you, but the thing which will help you the most is to just go out of your house, leave the house, and just speak to people. Progressively overload, start by just walking up to people, being like, hey, how's your day going? After that, start by having longer conversations, asking deeper questions, and eventually realize that this isn't even a challenge anymore. It's just a daily part of life. You just speak to strangers, you have conversations with them, you ask them for advice, they speak to you, and it becomes a just regular part of your life. And your life becomes way better, like 10 times better. Again, if you really want to improve your social skills way faster and you want to learn the best information that I've learned over the last 3.5 years that I've been studying on this topic, you can check out the course by clicking on the first link in the description. If you found this video helpful, I think you'll find a lot of value in this video. You can click on the subscribe button and do the work.